Why are you doing it? No, seriously, why are you doing it? Why are you following this one particular video blog? Why are you listening to me in particular? What was it that brought you into the various different subjects that I discuss on this one particular channel? Obviously not. I'm not just talking about. I'm definitely not talking about the cooking videos I do. But what was it that was, your real original interest? Think back. Seriously, think back to whenever it was. All right, when you thought you had an interest in spiritualism, occultism, magic, Ouija boards, whatever it was. I mean, what was it? A dream that gave you an inspiration? Was it a TV show? Was it someone you spoke to? Was it a point of view you had? You see, I think you got to be careful. Before I'd formulated the perspective that essentially the only thing that we could actually say that was real was the strange experiences because they just seem to happen, but we can't say what they mean. Before I'd actually formulated that particular thought, I was kind of like stranded in floating between different ideas, I guess, because I came into all of this like weird occult stuff because of lots of different reasons. But firstly, because I'd had strange experiences, and I thought they were important. I'm sure I had health problems as well, and I wanted to find out anything I could possibly, which might possibly have a positive impact upon my health, so I could basically get better. But I was mainly curious about these strange experiences, and I also had a certain quantity of empathy for other people, and I thought if this is going to be useful, then it is going to be useful. So, useful for other people because of whatever needs they've got. So I looked towards people who said they knew, really, really, really trying to find out where they were coming from, what their ideas were, and all the rest of that to try and come closer to what was real, as far as all this weird heebie-jeebie fucked up shit is concerned. I didn't get as close as I could, alright? I mean, to a certain extent, my story reminds me of one particular client I had, just about a year ago, I think it was. And she was interested in meditation. She wanted, she had various different ideas that she wanted to bring out in her life. She wanted to do meditation for health of body and mind. She wanted to explore her, her own mental space, so to speak, and lots of other stuff. And she found someone who said that he was an expert in all this weird heebie-jeebie stuff that she was interested in, namely forms of meditation. And so she spent time dealing with him. And she reached this time when she thought, should I carry on with this person or not? And she phoned me up. And essentially I asked her, what were your goals? What were you trying to achieve when you started looking into meditation? And she told me. And I says, this one particular individual, did he or has he actually brought you closer to achieving those goals? And then she thought long and hard and she said, well, basically no. Because what he was doing was getting pleasure. Not like that, if you know what I mean, okay? But he was getting pleasure from being a mentor, being in that position of authority and power over, and thinking that she was listening to his every word. Do you get where I'm coming from there? Okay? It was a sick relationship, despite the fact that he was selling the idea that he was some kind of like great expert in meditation. He was not providing her with any assistance to help her to reach her goals. This particular problem is why in the video series I did very early on in my YouTube career called The Magician's Creed, go back to my channel, look out for it, okay? I mentioned one of the most important things you can do when someone comes to you for advice or information is to ask them why, what is it you're trying to achieve, and to see whether you can honestly provide that for them. And if you can't, then basically shut the fuck up and go away. Alright, it's quite simple. Not everyone sees it like that, and this like disease of like power over is very big. What I wanted to do was to try and help people. When I got interested in doing tarot for a living, it's because I realized that I could be put into a position whereby I could help someone, give them some perspective, or indeed if I just entertained someone, then I knew I would be able to make them feel better and help them to get out of a bad situation. When I was, in my early to mid-teens and I had my chronic fatigue syndrome really, really badly and I was basically laid up in bed, I listened to the Goon shows, the old like mid-20th century Spike Milligan radio show, an awful lot. And that had the power to basically lift me out of negativity, lift me out of feeling bad about myself because I was laid up in bed ill. And so I knew the power of entertainment, and I knew the power of therapy, and I knew the power of conversation. And I wanted to try and bring all these things together, and that's basically what I try and do, with my tarot work, as well as all the other aspects of the service. Okay. I used to believe an awful lot of strange stuff because of this impetus to help others. Okay. When I got involved in the various New Age religions, I did that because these people made a promise to me that they could do something of a certain type, which, if they were correct, I would then be able to use to help other people. That promise has not been fulfilled by them. And that's why I've got this point of view that it's the strange experiences that matter, rather than the beliefs about what they mean. So I just want you to think about why you're involved in all this stuff, what you wanted to get out of it, what you want to get out of it, and to make sure you're keeping yourself on the right track.